So this is how a Raspberry Pi looks. It's a Raspberry Pi 3, that is model B. Probably this is the latest version, and you can have a different version, but there will be slightly difference between the versions. There will be a difference of you can say there can be two Ethernet ports, and the slightly difference is there. You can have the like other peripheral difference and all. So most important thing is we should know what are the components on its board. So let's begin with the component of the Raspberry Pi. Raspberry Pi is a very powerful device. You can do a lot with it. It's just like a small computer. You can learn programming, and you can learn how a computer works. So let's see what are the components on its board. The most important thing in the Raspberry Pi is your GPIO pins. These are 40 pins, of which here they have created the Raspberry Pi Foundation is created it, as you already know. It has got 40 pins, from which we have two 3-volt power supply pin, and these two, the first two, 1 and 2, are the 5-volt power supply pins. It has got 8 ground pins, and also the rest is the GPIO pins. So I will not take much time to explain these all 40 pins. It will take so much time. So let's move to the another component. You can see here, this is the 2.5 mm micro USB power input. This is to power up your Raspberry Pi, and next to it you can see this HDMI port. This is the full size HDMI output. This HDMI output stands for the high definition monitor. It's a high definition multimedia interface HDMI. So you can put your HDMI cable here, and the other end to your TFT or LCD. You can plug it to see the high definition video screen on your TFT using this HDMI port. And next to it, it has got the 3.5 mm jack for the audio and video output. Hope it's visible. If it not, so let me pick up it. So you can see it. This is the audio jack. Obviously that is of 3.5 mm. So now let's move to these ports. As you can see, so let me again, you can see the various ports on the board. So here it is the Ethernet port we will use to connect our Raspberry with the laptop. You can connect it with the laptop using the LAN cable. You can give the internet connections to a Raspberry Pi using Cat5 cable. That is your basically a LAN cable. It is a RJ45 port. You can see here, this is used to give the internet connection to your Raspberry Pi. You can also use this port with the Ethernet cable to connect with it with your laptop. Next to it, you can see there are 4 USB port. You can see there are 4 USB port. So it's like these ports are there to connect your mouse, keyboard and other peripheral devices to it. So now you can see, you can think of it, you can connect 4 devices at a time on this tiny board. So it's a very powerful thing. And okay, so let me show more about this Raspberry Pi. So here I have, you can see this is the CSI port. The CSI port, or basically CSI stand for the camera serial interface port to connect the Pi camera. Yeah, it has got the its own device, that is the Pi camera. You can connect the Pi camera on this CSI port, that is your camera serial interface. And after that, here it has got the DSI port. The DSI is display serial interface port for connecting LCD with 5 ribbon cable. You can see here there are 15 sorry, I have said 5 it's not 5, it's 15 ribbon cable. You can use 15 ribbon cable to connect this DSI port with the LCD, and these are 40 GPIO pins. I already explained you. And after that, these sorry, one thing I forgot to tell you, these 4 USB port are USB 2.0 connectors. These 4 are USB 2.0 connector. And also you can see the beauty of this board. On the back side you can see this beautiful circuitry, and now you can see there is a card, that is your SD card. Let me pull it out. So you can see this is the SD card slot. This SD card slot will insert this SD card to use it as the hard drive of Raspberry Pi, because Raspberry Pi has have to work on the memory, so we are using this 16 GB. At least you should use the 16 GB card, the SD card. You can use any of it. You can use the also use 8 GB, but this is the 16 GB here I am using. You should prefer it to like to use it as the hard drive of your Raspberry Pi. And also so now let's one more thing. Here I have this power plug. Yeah, it's a power plug. It's a 2.5 ampere power plug to power up your Raspberry Pi. And this is the LAN cable. You have used it many times, so also you know it. So this you can use to connect it with your laptop or to give the internet to your Raspberry Pi. And also the beauty of Raspberry Pi, you can see with its case. This is the Raspberry Pi case. So why I'm using here, I'm showing you this case. This case is like to make safe use of your Raspberry Pi device. You can safely use your device to connect with the different segments like the TFT and HDMI cable. So this case will protect your Raspberry Pi. So this was all the basic introduction of Raspberry Pi and its component. So thank you guys, and we have learned the basics of the Raspberry Pi.